Hey everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the Mark and Me podcast. As always, I'm your host Mark. Now, this episode is the third part of 5-part of the Slam Dunk Festival specials. Hopefully you've tuned in for the first 2 episodes, because this would then make a lot more sense. On the first episode, I was joined by The Used, Movements and Less Than Jake. Only a few days ago, part 2 featured Finch, Newfound Glory and A Day to Remember, and today's 3 brand new bands that were recorded all backstage last weekend at Slam Dunk North. Joining me on this episode today, I'm really excited to announce a Greywind, Ferris and Mouth Culture. So 3 completely brand new bands that have never been on Mark and Me before. I'm huge fans of all of their work. They're a whole different vibe to the South interviews. I can't wait to share them with you all today. And since I've been editing these interviews, I can safely say they're some of my best work at any festival because there's just something really magical about them, and hopefully it makes it feel like you've been there with me as part of this journey. So first on today's Slam Dunk special are Greywind, an absolutely amazing Irish band, and we hit it off instantly with our shared love for the incredible Thrice. So do expect that most of this interview is us gushing over Thrice. But hey, if you're a long time listener to Mark and Me, you know I'll try and shoehorn Thrice into any interview that I do. So I really welcome it today with Greywind. So what I want to do now is to get straight to it. So here's me and Greywind talking all things, well, Thrice to be fair.
I can't find my halo, it slips off, I tried. I killed all my friends 'cause they wanted to die. And I'm so tired, yeah. I'm so tired.
Both of you, welcome to the Mark and Me podcast.
Thank you so much.
What I do, guys, it's your first time on Mark and Me. Some people have been on 2 or 3 times. Dustin from Thrice has been on 4 times.
Oh my god.
And
Oh my
Tepe.
god, Dustin.
I'm shaking.
So what I normally do is I like to go down memory lane. I like to know what your first album was you bought with your own pocket money or was given to you by a family member, but basically that album that you remember that you just fell in love with.
Ooh, for me, The Black Parade, My Chemical Romance.
Oh, wow.
That is just, that
Textbook.
album's perfect.
Yeah.
And the theatrics in it, Gerard Way, everything. It's great.
See, I can't even remember the first album I got. I just remember the first single, and it was Smooth Criminal, cover by Alien Ant Farm.
Great.
Probably
I
one
always
of the
remember-
greatest covers ever.
It
literally,
is.
it is
for,
like
and for a Michael Jackson cover,
Yeah.
it's hard
to
to
do.
cover.
Like, you think it'd be one of the hardest people to cover in the world, and they just killed it. So
You've got to be brave
You
as
mean-
well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Even the music video, everything about it
Yeah.
is great.
Oh yeah, because they're moving, aren't they?
Yeah,
Like,
and you have the
it's
lights
good.
on the...
But yeah, I don't. My mind must have mentally blocked out what it
Yeah.
is because it can't be good. It's probably like Westlife or someone. You mean? We're from the south of Ireland to make.
Yeah.
A lot of people
understand
come
that.
on, they're like, oh, it's Metallica. I'm like, you liar.
Nah. I mean.
You had Cotton Eye Joe and 2 Unlimited.
Yeah.
So, live music changed for me. I tell the story every time. So, the listeners today will be like, shut up, I know this story. But it was Green Day Dookie. I was very
Hell
lucky.
yeah, hell
Wolverhampton, got into the gig, blew my mind,
Awesome.
led to bands like Korn, Limp Bizkit,
Love that.
Deftones. And I wondered if you were lucky with your first ever gig. It surely can't be My Chemical Romance because that would be mind-blowing.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish. I never got to see them in that era. I only got to see them when they came back recently.
Oh, nice. I was there
So,
as well. With Frank Turner supported, and
Oh
I
my
saw
god.
them. They
Yeah,
were
we saw them
great.
in Dublin, and I cried the whole time.
Wow.
It was great. But my first.
It can be embarrassing. You
It
can
was-
admit it.
Some of
Yeah.
Every answer's gonna be saying it's Westlife.
It was Westlife.
We live in the south of Ireland, yeah.
We're
Does
so
it come
Irish.
as part of the law? You have to
You're
go
like,
and see
being from
Westlife.
Ireland, you have to like
Yeah.
buy everything they've ever
It
made.
was the
Ever.
Corrs then after that.
And then the Corrs.
Siblings as well.
And then we discovered emo, and like we're like, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah,
Then
we're
it
not
was Taking
listening
Back
to the calls
Sunday.
again.
Take Back
and
Sunday,
Thrice
Mineral,
and all
and
the good
Thrice.
stuff.
You mean
Yeah.
so?
Amazing. So was that at the point when you were like, I want to be in a band, or was it a bit later on?
It
Yeah.
was, we've always wanted to be like you.
I
even
always
before
wanted,
me,
I
yeah.
knew I always wanted to sing,
Yeah.
but I didn't know in what like aspect.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And then
When
I
just
discovered
MCR
My Chemical
and Fall Out
Romance.
Boy.
Yeah. And I saw Gerard Way, and I was like, yeah, I want to do what he does.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
There's
And then
so
we
many
used to
great
go
bands.
like busking in our town, and we just play Cute Without the E and Mr. Brightside over again for like hours until we could afford to go to Disney World. So we used to
No,
sit on
that
the floor
summer,
busking, yeah, man.
We
So
saved
thank you,
up-
Take Back Sunday and the Killers.
Yes, thank
And
you
that
very
was just
much.
it. Once you hit the goal of we're going to Mickey Mouse Land, you're like, we're done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mean somehow got to slam dunk after that. You
I
mean,
know, I know.
So how do we talk about Thrice?
We-
Let's do it. Thrice are a great band.
They are just everything.
When we discovered Thrice, we were like,
that changed my life.
changed our life
Yeah.
because Dustin's vocals are insane and his lyrics, and
Yep.
we've supported Thrice.
No
Yeah.
way.
We
Back
played
in- when was
the
it?
Kentish Town Forum with supporting Thrice, and I've never been like so like starstruck by
Yeah.
a band. You mean? And it was
They're also the most humble dudes.
Yeah.
I have
Oh,
no
they're
idea how
lovely.
good they are.
Riley
I
watched us
remember
set.
Wow.
walking down the hall and Dustin like moved out of the hall to let me pass, and I was like, "This is your show. You don't need to do that."
Yeah, and we've seen Dustin play
Yeah.
acoustically before,
Yeah.
and he's just
He's so
just
kind.
there.
His voice. He's so talented.
Yeah.
Beggars for me is one of the best albums
Oh
ever
my
made.
God,
Oh my
Yes.
god! No one
Yes.
ever mentions
Yeah.
Beggars.
Everyone
Mhm.
talks about Artist in the Ambulance,
Yeah.
which is a great
Oh, yeah.
album.
You are literally the first person
Yeah.
to ever say
Yeah.
that, and
Beggars
even
is
one of the greatest
just
closes of all time.
so good.
Sounds like
Unbelievable.
Godzilla is
Yeah.
ending the world in the outro to that song.
Yeah.
Circles, that guitar tone from Tepe.
So
we could just talk about the
I
Thrice.
literally
Yeah, can we just talk about
Like,
that?
They're
Really.
textbook for me. Like that's why I've got them tattooed on my arm. Like there's the band that just changed my life, and then I'll buy whatever they do because they evolve.
Yeah.
They never play it safe. They never just do the
Yeah.
Artist in the
Yeah.
Ambulance again and again.
Yeah.
Then you went to like Major Minor, even the new
Oh.
stuff. It's just
Major Minor.
like
unbelievable.
Words in the Water from Major Minor.
Those lyrics.
Yeah.
Like the
Incredible.
harmonies.
It's so
the
they're just so inspiring,
breakdowns.
even lyrically for us. I
Yeah.
feel like that made us want to be better at
Yeah,
like
even
lyrics, everything.
I used to watch Dustin play acoustically.
Yeah.
And he's just playing simple guitar chords, and he just sounds enormous. He's
His
like
voice
It's
is
not
so simple. It's not
overcomplicating.
overcomplicated. Because you know sometimes you see bands playing acoustically, and they're basically playing really technical stuff
Yeah.
when they do live. And I remember watching Dustin, and he's just playing the most simple chords, and it's just all about the song. Nothing.
Yeah.
He's not trying to hide anything. It's just so raw and
I think
like
'cause his
yeah.
voice is so great as
Yeah.
well.
It's
He
so
doesn't-
adaptable because like
Exactly.
the Alchemy Index, he shows that he can do really
Like
slow,
the
like
water,
9 Inch Nails
yeah,
or
it's
stuff, and then he can do the
incredible.
acoustic stuff, and then he can do heavy as hell. The screams he's still
Absolutely.
got for stuff
Like
like
we could talk for
I
hours
think
about
even
that.
for our first out for Afterthoughts,
Yeah.
that he was like vocally, he
Yeah.
inspired me so much. I
Yeah.
listened to so much Thrice
Yeah.
because I was like the soft vocals
Yeah.
Yeah.
into the super like soaring high
there's
stuff.
no one else that sings
he
like him.
just, oh my god, he's just the best
Incredible.
at it. So yeah, I just tried to rip him off.
No,
So if anyone hasn't listened to us, our debut album, Afterthoughts, is massively inspired by Thrice.
Yes.
that's good, and that album's out now, so people
Yeah,
can go and
yeah,
listen.
yeah.
And how's it been so far at the festival? Like, obviously, yesterday South is a big moment.
Yeah.
You're kind of
Great.
here, like, we need to prove ourselves. We
Yeah.
want people to kind of
Yes.
discover our bands.
Yeah.
And then you do it all again the next day.
Yeah, like it's been insane. Like we were just saying before this, like today I think was one of our favorite ever Greywind shows ever.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Like we've been touring the US for the last year, and we haven't played a UK festival in a long time. So coming back to play, like the US is now our major fan base.
I love that.
Yeah, so
Right.
now like we feel so grateful to come back and still have so many familiar faces in the front row and so many new faces.
And
So
it was
it's been
packed. Like the tent was packed.
Yeah,
I
I
did
think it
not
was even
expect
more
that.
than yesterday.
Yeah,
It was like
it was
amazing.
Crazy. There was
So
people singing. They had merch.
Irish flags up in the air. So it was like
great.
incredible experience.
Is
Yeah.
it kind of a... You need to kind of pinch yourself and be
Yeah.
like, is this really happening? Like, this
Yeah.
is going too well.
I got
Oh.
off stage and I went into our dressing room and just laid on the couch. Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, I
Yeah.
don't know what
Leave
to
me
do.
alone, this
is
I
too
know, I
good.
was like, I need to just absorb this
Yeah, it
feeling.
was like really special.
Yeah, it
I
was
always
great.
wonder, like, obviously I'm not in a band, but for you guys to go up there, do a festival slot, then the same thing the next day. Then the next day I'm thinking, is it like a come down? Is it like, it needs a few days to be like...
Yeah, it's
Usually it is, but luckily tomorrow we play a headline show in Bristol,
Yeah.
so we get
And
one
then-
more day.
then
But then
we
we're
go
gonna start
home.
crying.
Then
Then we
yeah.
cry.
Then
we
we'll
cry.
be really sad.
Yeah, but yeah, you do have.
I
th-
just
that
wondered
come
if you're
down.
like, I'm craving that now. I want it again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have the tour depression they
Yeah.
call
Oh,
it.
yeah, you
Literally
do,
for like
yeah.
2 weeks, and you're just like, what is the point of my life now
Yeah.
while I'm not doing it? You
Does
mean?
it inspire you then to start writing?
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all our songs are basically just me crying at 6 a.m. Into my voice memos, and and that's where even we just released 2 new songs recently,
Yeah.
Acid Rain and I Killed All My Friends, and these are songs we just wrote.
What great song titles.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Like, you're not going to forget it. Some people are like, this song's called Love Hurts. I'm
I
like,
know, I know.
No, we like to
9
get to the
bands?
point.
Yeah. So we've just released those 2 recently. Played them both today and yesterday, and the reaction's
reaction's
been
crazy.
insane.
Even
So
seeing people sing them when they're just out, like they
Oh,
literally
that's
came out
the
like
best
2 weeks
feeling.
ago.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. So, but yeah. It's
and
been
is there
amazing.
much more coming up if guys want to see you? Are you taking a bit of time
Like,
out?
to
Or
be honest, we'll be. I don't know when this is going to be aired.
in about a week.
Okay, so a week after this is aired, or a week and a half, something massive will be announced by Greywind
Yes. So
on
keep
the
an eye.
Greywind Band Instagram.
Exclusive.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been working on so much new music, but
Oh, this is exciting.
but yeah, we've been working on
Stay
so
tuned.
much, and we'll be announcing
Yes.
something massive in
Wow.
around 2.5 weeks.
And when the mics turn off, you can tell me.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
And my final question, and I think I know what the answer is going to be, but what I do on this podcast for everyone that's been on, I've had Incubus, Deftones, Biffy Clyro,
Hell yeah.
everyone.
Hell yeah.
They all get the same question. And the last piece of music that plays after the interview can be by a band that you both love.
It needs
Is
to
it
be.
a band?
to be.
But you got to. What I'd love you to do today is try and agree on a song together.
We can do that. We usually agree on
I think Words in the Water.
oh yeah.
Amazing.
I
Words
think
in the Water, nice,
underrated.
Unbelievable.
As well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that chorus and the guitar, the
Oh.
licks that Tepe's playing over the top of the chords.
it is the most. And then the end chord changes at the
Oh
end.
my God.
You get like an extra chorus.
like
It's,
What
I
a
feel like I'm
band.
floating when I listen.
like
What I do now is when I edit all this
Floating.
podcast, I'll be like, which bit of the song should I use? And I'll spend the whole day listening to Thrice.
yeah, same.
Amazing.
I'm like-
I'm listening on. We have a drive later. I'll be listening
Yeah,
to them.
I
I'm
will.
going to listen to it in a minute. I'm not.
Yeah, you need it.
Well, you got just fuck off so I can go and listen to Thrice. But thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
coming
much
on.
for having us.
When the time's right and the announcements is out there, why don't we hook up again, do a longer
Hell yeah.
episode,
Yes.
Hell yeah.
talk more,
Definitely.
not all about Thrice and about you guys.
Hell yeah.
Amazing.
Sounds amazing.
Thank you for coming on the
having us.
podcast, man.
Thank you.
So there's my first interview with Greywind, and I want to say a massive thanks to both Paul and Steph for taking the time to come on Mark and Me. It will not be the first time you come on, and I can't wait to follow it up with an interview probably later this year to talk all about those brand new announcements which I can't quite talk about just yet. But if you haven't checked this band out, go and listen. Go to any of their gigs once they're announced. You will not regret it. They were absolutely phenomenal live at the festival, and they're destined to huge things ahead. Right, next up is a band that I fell in love with because of the film 10 Things I Hate About You. I actually went out and bought the CD the day the film came out after seeing it in the cinema just for this song alone from Save Ferris. Now, this band are so good live, and I'll say it now. When I was at the festival in North, I got to go and see their whole set with my good friend Todd and Scott. And I'll say this now, I think they were probably the best performance of the whole weekend. It was just so much energy from the start. They had great vibes with the crowd, and it just sounded amazing. The energy on stage was so good. It was infectious. So to have Save Ferris probably, oh God, it must be like 20 years after I bought this soundtrack, probably even longer, join me on Mark and Me, is truly a dream come true. So I think it's time we get to the interview. So here's me and Save Ferris backstage at Slumdunk talking all things music. So this is going to give me great pleasure to say welcome to the Mark and Me podcast.
Thank you
It's
for having
great to
us.
be here.
Thanks for having us.
It's an absolute pleasure. So guys, what I do with this podcast, because it's the first time you guys have been on, each of you are going to get to answer this question. Make it fair so everyone gets a question.
Okay.
What was the first album you remember buying with your pocket money? If it's embarrassing, you can do it. Or maybe someone in your family gave you an album, but that first one you remember buying that you were like, this is fucking awesome. Maybe it was a cassette CD and you were like, this is the album. If it's embarrassing, I want you to be completely honest.
I bought two when I was 12. My first two was Nevermind by Nirvana
Unbelievable.
and Devil Without a Cause by Kid Rock.
Oh my God.
Not so
You
cool.
admitted that?
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
like we've had
Love
embarrassing ones, but most people don't admit it.
All I bought was a fucking jam.
It still is. It still is a fucking jam. Mo, you up?
Little known fact, same producer
Yeah.
as Modified,
Oh, no
Oh,
shit.
John Travis.
no.
Nice.
I had a similar story where I bought two at the get-go, and it was both from the same band. It was AC/DC's High Voltage
Oh wow.
and Razor's Edge.
Damn.
And I put on High Voltage, and the bass line to Live Wire came up, and I was like, "Yep, this is my life now. This is what this is it."
You just come along and like AC/DC, like fuck it, all the great bands, like you're just.
Yeah.
Mine weren't quite as cool. Well, I mean, pretty cool. It was Michael Jackson, Off the Wall.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's fucking
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah.
But then it was Culture Club, the one with Karma Chameleon on it, because
Yep.
I thought he was an Orthodox Jew, and I was like, oh, I'm Jewish, maybe, and he's Jewish, and he plays music, so maybe we have something in common. And no, he's not Jewish, and but the songs were very poppy, and so I don't know.
I think those are solid choices.
Yeah, solid choices.
What about live music then, guys? Because I was very lucky. My first ever gig was Green Day on their Dookie tour. So I came away from that gig like, I want to be a rock star, I want to be in a band, I want to play guitar, I want to be like Billy Joe Armstrong. Most people come on the podcast and be like, yeah, it was Nirvana, Pearl Jam, but really it was something shit. But were you lucky? Yeah, look, the face is honest already from Monique. But I wondered if you can remember that first gig you went to, even if it was embarrassing.
Well, mine wasn't embarrassing. I saw the Go-Go's at Irvine Meadows Amphitheater in Orange County when I was like 9.
Hell
Nice.
That was pretty cool.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pennywise.
Unbelievable band.
I grew up
Yeah.
in the same town, went to the same high school, but their little brother band was called 98 Mute, and I went to one of their CD release shows when I was 11, and I was just like, I'm doing that. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Does it necessarily have to be a gig, or was it just a musical experience that inspired you to be like, that kicks ass?
It's day 2, I don't care. Whatever you want it to be.
Because mine wasn't a gig, but it was when I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old. It was the very end of Jack Black's School of Rock when they have the
nice.
whole like in the Battle of the Band scene, and they all come out with the, I don't know, there was like, smoke and pyro and everything, and they're all doing guitar solos. They had cool outfits. I was like, oh yeah, so being in a band kicks ass. Like I should do that.
Here you go.
So it's been a while since you guys have been over here. The way I discovered you, and I said this before, is I did buy the 10 Things I Hate About You soundtrack, and I was like, that band are fucking amazing that were in the film. And I was like, I really hope they're real, because sometimes you have like a band in a film that are a group of actors.
Yeah.
And did you ever anticipate the, I know it's looking back now, but the explosion that it brought to your scene and the hype, because everyone must have been like, overnight, like, this band's fucking amazing, and now it's giving you that exposure, because I can't remember a soundtrack where I rushed out to buy it because of one song. So
That's
it
very
was awesome.
cool.
And that was like
thank you for that.
£13 back then. So that was like my pocket money for 2 weeks.
Wow.
So that's credit.
That's really cool. I've never heard that before, but thank you. Did I know? I was sort of like at ground zero being in Orange County, and there's like, third wave ska scene was emerging out of there with Sublime and No Doubt kind of being played on the radio or getting ready to be played on the radio.
Yeah.
So I was just already like going to punk and ska shows. We had a great scene there when I was growing up in Orange County. So it was kind of like it felt like it happened kind of overnight. I mean, we kind of did do our, pay our dues and do our touring in our van and all of that for a while. But it happened pretty fast. Like, we got signed pretty fast. And
Was it, I know you probably get to talk about this a lot, but was it incredible being on set with a film director, kind of doing that scene? I'm sure the amount of takes you have to do while the actors are doing their work. Not many bands have that opportunity. You do a music video, but there's not like Heath Ledger on set. You've not got this incredible cast.
Yeah.
And I was saying when we were watching you today, your band played in front of the Joker and Robin. Which not many people think about.
that's wild.
That's awesome,
I never
isn't it?
thought about that.
Whatever band can say we did that, we played in front of the Joker and then Robin.
That's wild.
It's cool, isn't it?
I just know we were like on Warped Tour,
Yeah.
and they flew us in on our one day off. We had 1 day off,
That was one day's filming.
and we went to we went
Wow.
to Seattle, and we'd never been on a movie set before.
No.
And so the whole thing was very new for us, and there was this new actor everybody was on set was talking about. You have to meet him. He's the next big thing. And it was Heath. And that was kind of cool. But, I mean, all of the actors were, we were all just sort of like wide-eyed meeting all of them, like, wow, this is what you do. And they look at us and go, this is what you do.
That's amazing.
We're like in awe of each other. But filming was surprisingly far less like exciting than I thought it would be. It's a lot of like stand around and wait kind of stuff, and then singing to a track that doesn't exist, and then everybody dancing to music that isn't there,
Yeah.
which was hilarious because it was a prom scene.
Like the behind the scenes. It's a big prom.
Yeah.
And there's no actual music playing. Everyone's like,
Yeah, everyone.
it looks fucking weird. Like, what are you all dancing about? And everyone's like, and I'm like, there's no music playing.
No, none. I was just looking around like, everybody were crazy. But yeah, they were into it. Everybody knew they were getting paid to pretend like they were at a prom, and so they
fun.
owned it.
So we're here at Slam Dunk. It's day 2. We've just seen your set. You guys must have been like, this is fucking awesome, because that tent was rammed. The energy was amazing. People are still hungover from yesterday. But you guys brought it. I'm not just saying this. We were all saying back here, like, that was unbelievable. The sound, everything went right. You must have had a great time.
Yeah, we really did, and I feel like every time we're in the UK, it's always just like a different energy of just people that just love the music and are just love the concert experience, especially just European festivals in general. I feel like are that. So yeah, just from the first note, being up there in front of everybody, just so in it, like you can't help but get lost in it, and just it almost becomes like an out-of-body experience playing. At least for me, like I'm sure it's the same for y'all.
For sure.
But yeah, no, it's just it doesn't get much better than what we just got to do earlier.
There's always a moment in the set where I feel like we're all like vibing so perfectly, and then all of a sudden I feel like, I can breathe. But probably about 3 songs in. The first 3 songs, I'm like, oh God. Are they going to like us? Are there enough people here? Okay. And then I have to like really tune into the audience and be like, what is this audience going to be like? How hard are we going to have to work for them today? And by the 3rd song, I'm like, okay, I think I'm starting to understand, and now we can all breathe, and the band, we start having fun. And today was much better than yesterday, don't you think? Yesterday was really rough for me.
Yeah, but we're also flying in and everything. First
Yeah,
weekend,
I was
have the
majorly jet lagged. Sound on stage was painful, but today it was just beautiful.
Today makes it all worthwhile.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've always said, no offense to the States, but I've always, since the first time I ever played over here, I was like, I would tour over here 100% more than there any day. Yeah, I love it here. Everyone's awesome here.
And your
I got a little
feedback
too
helped,
excited
too.
today. I ran over our trombone player.
I
On
saw
stage.
that, and you were like,
Yeah.
are you okay?
Mom.
And I was like,
Knocked Pritchard right over.
Yeah.
the little trumpet, and I was like, she
Yeah.
doesn't look very big. And I was like, you just stacked it over. And I was
I
like,
saw
Yeah.
the aftermath of
Yeah.
when I was singing. I just turned around and our trombone player's on the ground.
you know that's
I'm
going to
like,
be on TikTok later, and you'll be like,
we
I'm
can only hope
famous now.
so. We can only hope so.
Believe me, we're going to be the ones putting it on there.
I've usually famously hurt myself or fall, but today I just that was a football just gone.
Yeah, we have it on tape. It's
and
great, yeah.
I'm so self-involved, I didn't see shit. I'm like, what happened? They're telling me about it after the
Sorry,
show. I'm
Bridgie.
like, I guess I wasn't there. I don't know where I was.
I love that you had like a Beyonce moment today and had like a costume change halfway through. I was like, that is fucking amazing. Like, all the bands here all weekend are getting changed halfway through a show.
Oh, this is nothing.
No?
I used to do like 4 costume changes during our shows. I used to do, it was called shedding, and I would shed down. I would come out, like, have you ever seen that movie Christmas Story? A Christmas Story?
Yes.
The American film? Do you know that part where the mom, like, bundles up the littlest brother to go to school, and his arms are
Oh,
out like
shit,
this, and
yes.
he's like, hey guys, wait for me. I used to come out feeling like that kid. I would come out on stage with 5 different dresses on, or 5 different costumes, all layered on top of each other, and then shed progressively throughout the show. Every 2 songs or so I would shed. And by the last song, I'd just be like, oh, thank you, God. This feels so much better. Because I'm like not wearing an armor's worth of clothes at this point. So today was nothing. Today was easy, honey. It was a good day. Good day.
It got very hot in there then, and everyone, you could just hear them go. You just heard like this whole like 10,000 people. It's fucking amazing. Now that you've done your set and the kind of pressure's off you, do you now get to like let your hair down and go and enjoy some bands, or are you kind of conscious that you need to get a flight?
I want to see a day to remember, so I want to stay to the end.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to try and do that so AJ can do that today.
Yeah.
I need some breakdowns.
I need to see some zebra head today.
Fair.
Zebra head, as my friends out here may call them.
I think it also kind of comes down to what is next. Yesterday we were trying to we had to get over here, so there was a little bit of a sense of urgency to get moving because we had 3 hours to drive and then get over here. Now we kind of we have the day off tomorrow, so we're lucky that we can enjoy the festival, enjoy the bands, enjoy everything that Slam Dunk has to offer. So no, we're hanging and have a good time today.
Yeah.
We have massages booked. It's good. It's a good day to be us.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great day.
Oh, we love Leeds today. We're happy to be
I
here.
know it's the most obvious question ever, but did you obviously take the name from one of the greatest 80s films of all time? John Hughes is a genius. Save Ferris, obviously taken from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes.
Does that film mean the world to you, or did you just like the slogan Save Ferris?
No, that film means the world to me.
Yeah.
I mean, just about every John Hughes film.
Unbelievable.
But,
Everything he's ever
you know,
done.
Particularly a certain era of John Hughes films.
I like
but-
Uncle Buck.
Yeah,
like-
I was going to
Oh,
say.
Uncle Buck's
Uncle
great.
Buck's amazing.
I just want to come down
But-
and literally have a stack of pancakes like this waiting
Oh,
for me.
yes,
That's the dream.
please.
That's all I want.
Oh, I mean, don't we
just,
all?
Like life, I always said life would be better if it's more like a John Hughes film, and I truly mean that. It's
Oh, it
true.
would be.
Yeah.
They've
No,
always
it
got
totally.
heart, they've got soul. There's a reason for the film. There's a good script. Everyone's great, and if you've always got John Candy in it, then it's always just the icing on the
yes.
cake.
Cheers.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a huge John Hughes fan. And I was in my late teens, early 20s, and so the name resonated with me.
It's beautiful, and it looks
Yeah.
great on a t-shirt.
Really fucking does.
It is, and your backdrop was fucking amazing.
Thank you.
It looks all good.
You're so great. I
just
feel
love
so
you guys.
I feel so good. You've really validated so much for me today, and it really makes me feel like, oh yeah, I can breathe again. Because
good.
after the show, I'm always like, was it good enough? Did we do enough? And usually the answer is yes.
Today you
So-
were absolutely brilliant.
Thank
Like
you.
genuinely. And I just don't want it to be so long that you come back and do your tour. Like you leave it quite a while between shows.
Yeah, it's we're not signed to a label, and so
Not this time though, right? We got coming back soon.
yeah, we will be hopefully coming back in August. But it's expensive,
Of
so we have to
course,
make
yeah.
sure that we get enough shows that can
To
sort of
justify
finance,
it all.
finance
So what's
the
happening
trip.
in August? Is this announced, or is it going to be announced? Or
Rebellion. We're
Yeah.
gonna come back for Rebellion, and
Amazing.
then some other shows which have not been announced yet.
that's
but
amazing.
Yeah.
They're telling us our time is almost up. Is that right, Scott? Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But I know your manager, so I'm going to literally message him and say, can we do like a Save Ferris 45-minute hour special? Because why don't we just do this again over
That
Zoom
would
and
be
talk for longer?
amazing.
Genuinely.
For sure. I'll give you our information,
Yeah, because
and
I've
you
had
can get in touch with us directly too.
you know Alex Winter from Bill and Ted?
Yeah.
The actor? He's been on 4 times. He
Oh
loves
my
it, so he just comes
God.
back. So why don't you guys come on for a second time?
Oh man, that would be so
when we're
cool.
not in a field, when it's not so time precious,
boomy.
and we can do what we want.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
just say
boomy
when.
here too today.
Sounds
Very
good.
boomy.
So what I want to do now is my final question, and there's 3 of you, so this is going to be tricky. As the episode is all edited, ready for the world to listen to, I'll play some Save Ferris. You guys will have the interview, but then a song plays at the end. It can be any song in the whole world that means a lot to you personally. I'll let you each choose one, and then when it comes to the edit, I'll pick the one I like best.
Oh. Break stuff, Limp Bizkit.
Oh my god.
God.
Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit is a hell of a tune. The energy. He might have won, so good luck.
Can't lose with that.
That
No.
one's gonna be tough to beat. So one more time, it's just a song that means a lot to
Yeah,
me.
just something that it just has a deep meaning that you
I play
love.
that every day at soundcheck.
It's a little basic, but I'll go Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh wow.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
The
you
big hard
guys
hitters
are
here.
amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing. The Limp Bizkit thing, truly amazed. I don't know, like anything off of Prince 1999.
Oh, man.
So anything
Prince
off of
is
Prince
the
1999.
Prince and Barry are the best, so I might have to go with Prince. But
Ooh.
Limp Bizkit, the energy will be too much that the next band I interview will not be able to top it.
That's
They'll be
fair
like,
enough.
Fuck this. Guys, thank you for coming on the show. It's an
Oh,
absolute
for
pleasure.
having us.
I'm going to give you my information.
Yes,
so
that
we can
sounds
be in
good,
touch,
and we will
yeah?
do this.
It's all about the he says, she says bullshit. I think you better quit, let shit slip, or you can leave it with a fat lip. It's all about the he says, she says bullshit. I think you better quit talking that shit, so come and get it.
Now, I know I've said this a lot today, but I absolutely love this interview. Like Greywind, I thought it was just brilliant. The energy was great. It was one of my favourite moments of the weekend, and you know they're going to come back for more. I think the good thing about these festival specials is you get a really good flavour of Mark and Me. You know what to expect. You get some really good insight to the band, but it's never quite long enough to go that full Mark and Me 45-minute interview. But what happens from these festivals is it lays the foundations and you know they're going to come back for more. And I've already been speaking to them backstage, and we're going to do a special very soon with Save Ferris for the full Mark and Me exclusive episodes. So stay tuned for that. And I want to say now, if you've never checked out Save Ferris live and you get the opportunity, go and do it because they're absolutely unbelievable. Lastly, on today's episode are a band that are getting such a huge name right now in the industry. The hype is real. They deserve all the praise in the world, and I'm so excited to have this band join me today. Everybody is talking about Mouth Culture. I went out of my way to make this interview happen because I really know they're destined for huge, huge things. And you'll hear today, this interview is so deep, so meaningful, and it's just so honest. So I'm thrilled to announce that on today's episode, I'm joined by Jack, the vocalist of the band, and I'll say my bit afterwards. If you haven't checked out Mouth Culture yet, what are you waiting for? They are going to be absolutely huge, and this is one of the best interviews I've done at any festival. So raw, so open, so honest. But I think I should stop building this up and let you guys at home be the judge as the listener. So here is me and Jack from Mouth Culture talking all things music.
So don't pull up at the house, I don't want you around. Oh, I think we're bad enough. What's up the crack on your tongue? Maybe somebody found. Oh, wait.
Welcome to the Mark and Me podcast.
Hello, Marky boy.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you,
It's
bro.
day 2, so I'm surprised you're not hungover, dying, thinking, I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, you didn't see me at 7:30.
Was it bad?
It wasn't bad. It was okay. I drank a lot more yesterday than I had planned.
Wow,
I
I thought
wo-
you'd save yourself for day 2 and
I
then
will
go
be
all
honest.
out.
Yeah, you gotta live in the moment. You don't get to do this every day. Like, this is, I don't know, this is a big thing for Mouth Culture. We've not done Slam Dunk before, so it was it's a big moment for us, so we all wanted to celebrate.
Was it everything you wished for? Because you build up something in your head like, this is our moment, we get to do Slam Dunk, and then it's over and you're like, it's hard to digest because it's such a big moment you've built up for so long.
I'll be honest, before this, I wasn't as nervous for Slam Dunk than that. I wasn't as nervous as I probably should have been.
Yeah.
In all
That's
honesty.
fair, yeah.
But in the weeks leading up to it, our team and our crew, obviously, everything gets put in motion. You're advancing for the show and all this stuff.
Yeah, I see.
And we were told like details of the hype and all this, and like we were told that there was a big buzz about Mouth Culture at Slam Dunk.
Massive.
And I don't know. I didn't know if I wanted to believe it. Like you say, I didn't want to be disappointed. But honestly, yes, I think we just did an interview, and the girl, bless her, she said she was there yesterday, and she was like, you could see it on your faces. Like it was a moment, and it really was. It's something we've worked on for a long time to get to play something like this and have an opportunity. So we're trying to enjoy it at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know, like, and I'm not just saying this because I've done it for 435 episodes, but you guys have got this hype at the moment, not just for Slam Dunk, in general. Like, there's this talk, it's hard because you're on the inside, so you are Mouth Culture.
This is
the hard part.
This is literally the third time in a week
Yeah,
I've had this conversation.
but it's true.
And I know, it's weird.
Like, I'm not saying you're
It's-
going to be Sleep Token tomorrow and
No,
be
I'm
headlining
not.
Download.
No, I'm no.
But-
Do you know what though? Honestly, at this point, with how it's going and our manifestation powers, I wouldn't rule it out, mate.
No, it's... Well, put it this way, right? I get offered bands. I come to a festival, they give me a list, and they're like, do you want to interview this band? Do you want to interview this band? And I'm like, yeah, that'd be amazing. Like, of course I want to interview Finch. Of course I want to interview
Yeah.
Alkaline Trio. I went out my way and said, I want Mouth Culture on Mark and Me. It wasn't, do you want to do this? I want these guys. Because when I listened to you, I was like, I've not been this excited for a new band since, I don't know, New Deftones or Fries or something. You've got something that sounds like nothing else right now. It's sounding really fucking cool.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard because while you're trying to establish yourself as a band, it's very easy to do this whole, if you like this band, or if you're a fan of this band, you'll like us, blah, blah. Whereas we've always found it really hard, and even genre-wise, there was a point for Mouth Culture where we didn't want to be pigeonholed.
No.
Nobody wants that. But then we don't know where we belong. But right now, we actually don't care. I'll be honest.
You don't need to care. Let them guys worry about that.
I know, yeah.
It's not your issue.
And I think even when you can see it, you see the people, mate. We have... I will literally look out into a crowd and see a bunch of 18-year-old boys and girls losing their minds.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'll see a dad who's like 50-year-old with his young child on the shoulders. Both of them are having the time of their lives as well. And then there's Kevin or whoever at the back, and he's like 65, 70 though. But, but he's feeling it because it's rock. It's just,
it is.
Like we write music that we would listen to. I like to think.
Of course.
Like shamefully.
If you're listening back to your own songs and you're like, this is shit, you're not doing it right, are you?
No.
And if you're going through the motions just to be, we're in a band, but I wouldn't listen to this.
Yeah.
I don't see the point in doing it. I'd want to write my favourite album that I want to go and buy.
Yeah. To be fair, that's also a point where we're at now, where there's a lot of pressure on album one. Like
it's your debut, isn't it?
We've not even put an album out yet.
No.
And we've been doing this for... Bro, I've been doing this for 12 years. Since my first band, for 12 years. And I've ground, I've done... And it's not just about me, but it's the boys as well. Like all of us, we've done our shift playing to empty rooms.
Yeah.
Like, to put it blunt. And
but you've done the graft.
But even now, I know we've still got so much more graft to do. We're only just getting started. We're not.
But you're starting to reap the rewards for the work you've done.
And it's a good feeling.
Yeah, it should be, and you should absolutely enjoy and embrace every moment because you've worked for it. It's not like, I've been in a band 6 weeks and a label said, let's throw loads of money at them. You've worked for this opportunity.
It's hard when you see that.
Of course.
And you're in our position. I'll be honest. That's the shit that makes. Sorry.
Dude, you can
I
say
swear?
fuck shit whatever.
Fuck!
Yes.
We're free!
Yeah, finally.
You see so much of that shit, it honestly kills me. And it's like just a rogue point. Music videos.
Yeah.
We get told now don't worry about them. You don't need to worry about they're not really going to get seen by anyone, and it really disappoints me because I found some of my favourite bands from watching music channels and being like,
I grew up
oh
watching,
my god, look at them.
Yeah, it's what you're inspired to be.
All of them sounded like shit, but them not look cool as fuck. I want to
course.
be like that.
Yeah.
And then you listen to them for years, and then most of them bring out really good albums.
Amazing.
But I don't know. I really want Mouth Culture to be more than just a band that comes and goes. I genuinely feel like I don't know what I'd do if we didn't do this, and I think I can say the same for the others. So
I think you shouldn't have a plan B because then that already means you're prepared to fail.
Plan B's looking like a Z right now, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It's work, normal day jobs, as we say,
to pay the bills.
We have them.
Yeah, you have to.
But it's hard. Like I'm technically self-employed. I work on a building site and I hate it, mate. I'm part of that. I'm meant to be doing carpentry, but I do a bit of building and stuff. I love the blokes I work with. I love it. They're the people that keep me grounded. These are the guys that I was born and raised with, and I don't know. I love it as well because I get to go and do stuff like this, and then on Monday morning they're like, "Oh,
how was your weekend?"
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Playing in front of thousands of people in the festival.
It's really cool, but at the same time, I can't wait till we have more time to throw up Mouth Culture. We have our studio in place. We have everything in place to literally chuck ourselves at it and make it our day job.
So is the eventual goal to then say we're not going to go and do any more carpentry, no more building work, and I'll do Mouth Culture every day?
The eventual goal would be just I just want to do music every day.
Yeah.
Whether that's Mouth Culture, well, it will always be Mouth Culture, but
Of course.
even if it was to, I was about to say tech, but I can't play an instrument, so I won't be a great tech, but I could be a good rum tech. I think I just want to always be around music. And
What's the come down like when you've done these 2 gigs, and then as great as work is and the people around you keep you humble, what's the come down like today where you're like, oh, we're done now, and like it's a while until we can have this feeling
That's it.
again?
Honestly, mate, no one ever talks about this stuff.
No.
Like, this is the first interview I've ever done where somebody spoke about
Don't forget
this.
Mark and me.
Yeah, but shout out for that.
Yeah.
It's shit, mate.
Yeah, because that's
It is.
reality check, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. It's not shit. It's 2025, so there are about 5,000 videos of everything we've done this weekend online, and I get to sit there and just selfishly look at myself.
Of
as
course,
long
we
as
live
I-
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I literally, like, we'll all sit there when we lived. We lived together for 5 years, and then in January we all moved out. But we always used to get back from gigs. We'd all sit around the back door, have a smoke, and just sit there on the phones going, "Watch this! Oi, look at this!"
That's awesome.
And we all get gassed over it, and that's how we built our show. You'd watch it back, and you'd be like, "Oh, I don't like that. Oh, next time, don't do that." And I don't know. It's nice. It's weird. Mondays are shit.
Of
That's
course.
all I'll say.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think people probably realise how many musicians do have 9 till 5s, and there's a lot of people out there as well, musicians, that make out that they don't have a 9 till 5, and they're like, yeah, I'm doing this, and you question yourself, and you're like, well, we're putting all this time into touring, and we're doing all this stuff that we think we should be doing, but then, like you were saying, someone can release a song that's never done music in their entire life, and it pops overnight, and they get to quit their job and not do anything. Not do anything, but they get to do my dream.
Yeah.
That I've wanted for 10, 12 years. Yeah, it can be a bit shit.
Dude, I come to festivals. I've been doing it for 10 years. I talk to people. I try and get down, build relationships, work with people. But a footballer says, I might start a podcast next week. It gets 10 million listeners. They do it full time. They get sponsorship,
mate.
£1 million.
Exactly.
Spotify #1, and I'm like,
But
but I'm grafting a week every day.
There's nothing to take away from that footballer though, because
No.
he's grafted and
To
he's
get his
done
name.
thing, yeah. And,
But it's a bit
and
like-
that is another thing that's great about this day and age, that you can do something and then advance into something completely different.
course.
And your old career path could help that.
But it's frustrating when I'm like, I'm the podcast guy. I'm working hard. I
Yeah,
want it to be
it's-
successful.
But then at the same time, the one thing we've always said to each other is, don't look around. We just keep looking in our little
Yeah.
circle, keep eyes
I've done that so far.
eyes inside, mate.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter. Like,
No, that's fair.
we don't listen to the noise, mate. I think
It's
that's
hard to avoid it when it's loud.
Yeah. They were loud today.
Yeah,
That's the good kind of noise.
that's good.
Um,
But no album. I mean, are you gonna sit down and get this album finished soon so people can have the Mouth Culture debut album?
we started the album 5 years ago
Wow.
when we started the band, pretty much. There are songs that we wrote and we were always like, we're not releasing that. We're saving that. That's going on
Hold that
debut.
one back. Yeah.
And then we've got a ton of shit that we've been working on. We've got a load of new music coming out this year.
That's awesome.
So Rat Bag being the start of that, the first piece of the puzzle. I don't want to give away too much.
No, you don't need to.
But-
Let people anticipate.
But
and wait.
July, you will be hearing and seeing from Mouth Culture again.
That's good. That's
before-
not too far away.
No, and then Reading and Leeds, you'll be hearing it live in the flesh.
Yes.
And at Burn It Down Festival. And then October we go out, and everything that's coming out this year will be out by then.
That's amazing.
That's
news.
what I'll say. Yeah.
So what I do on this podcast, and it's my final question for you today. Come back when the album's out, and we'll talk in more detail.
Yeah, Mark, honestly,
Yeah.
anytime,
Deep,
any place.
proper conversation.
Yeah.
But
always down for
what
it.
I get all guests to do is, as this is all edited, ready for the world to listen to, I'll play a bit of Mouth Culture. Me and you will have our chat.
Okay.
People can listen. But you get to choose a song that's played at the very end of our interview. Any song that means a lot to you in the history of music, by any band that you love, but the song that came to your heart before any other. So there must be a reason why that song was the reason you chose it today?
Oh, there's so many. Wow.
So many.
Wow.
Talk about putting you on the spot.
He's gonna hate. Well, they're gonna hate me. I know Josh is gonna hate me for saying this, but genuinely, the first time I knew I wanted to do this for as long as I could, or keep trying anyway, was when I heard "If I Were in Your Shoes" by Yumi at 6.
Amazing.
And I watched the video of him in that little white room on that little circular thing. And honestly, I watched it. I'd probably look at it now and laugh because I know them, and it's like it's great. But that was the moment where I listened to that song.
Nice.
There's something, and that was the point where I thought, yo, I want to have fun like them dudes.
What a perfect 360 moment for this episode.
Yeah. Sorry, Josh. It's not being filmed, is it? But if you're
worry.
listening, Josh, yeah, that's the.
I keep forgetting there's no more of that. That band's gone.
I know, it's sad though.
That's weird. I forget about these things.
think that's the other thing because we got to do the tour, which is obviously like one of the, if not the best thing that's ever happened to me personally in my life. I still don't think I've got over that they're gone.
No.
And now but then I've got Max now. Max is like literally like a best friend. And but we were at the studio the other week and he was showing me demos of Unit 6 from like years ago, and I was sat there creaming like, what? Why do you ever put this out?
Can I have those songs?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I could convince him to send me them as well. I think we're at that point. Yeah.
Thank you for coming on today, dude.
Thank you for having me.
And you're going to come back on later in the summer.
Yeah.
And we'll do a proper hour talking.
Yeah.
Sound
Anytime.
good?
Yeah.
Let's get a photo, celebrate the moment, and I'll let you go and watch Finch.
Thank you very much for having me, bro.
All the other stuff. Thank you,
Get
dude.
fucked up. Yeah.
So there's my interview with me and Jack from Mouth Culture. One of my new favourite bands. I haven't stopped listening to them for the last couple of months, and I can't wait to finally, hopefully, get more new music from them very soon. I want to go and see them. I'm tempted to get a ticket to Reading just to go and see their set. What a great guy. It was like a counselling session. We were on the same page from the moment we started talking, and I just absolutely love Jack. He's such a real person, so true, and I just absolutely can't wait to get him back. I think this episode should be called the I can't wait to get them back for a full episode Mark and Me special, but it doesn't quite have a ring to it like Slam Dunk special. But I've loved today. I've loved all the bands I've had on for this special. I want to give a huge shout out to my good friend Todd and my best friend Scott for coming along with me to Leeds, capturing some great moments. It was a magical day, as good as interviewing all the bands, just hanging out, spending time backstage, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful day, and I can't wait to do it all again next year. If you're new to Mark and Me and have never listened before, all I ask for these 3 episodes is just to return the favour by just clicking share on Twitter, Facebook or Instagram. Loads of people should be listening to bands like these, what you've heard today, and I need you to do that by literally just sharing it. You all have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have TikTok. It will take you 1 second and a couple of clicks of your thumb to share these on your profile. If you can do this, you will see more people coming my way, listening to Mark and Me, and it really, really means the world. I do have a Patreon. Obviously, to go to these festivals costs money. I make no money from Mark and Me. It's just truly for the love of doing it. But if you can help me on Patreon, I spend the money that comes in on going to these gigs, traveling the country, hosting the podcast, and it really is appreciated. So if you go on markandme.com, click the link, and it'll take you to the Patreon page. But don't worry, I don't expect you to have nothing back in return. You'll get exclusive episodes called The Lost Tapes, you get a welcome pack with stickers and a brand new enamel badge, and a monthly newsletter, and so much more. And I am going to be launching some brand new exclusive competitions only for Patreon people, so stick around for that and be in a chance with winning some incredible prizes very soon. Now before I go, I've got a couple of shout outs to do for the sponsors of Mark and Me. The amazing folks at Vice Press who bring you the best posters in the industry from the greatest artists in the world have an amazing partnership with Mark and Me that offer you 10% off your first poster. All you have to do is go and add something to your basket from their amazing site, use the code MarkandMe10 and save yourself 10% off your first purchase. Secondly, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor, Richer Sounds. If you love music and you love headphones or TVs or anything to do with home cinema, go on richardsounds.com, sign up to their VIP club, or go to any of their high street stores. They won't be beaten on price and are the best people out there in the industry, and I truly mean that. Right, guys, I want to say also a massive thanks to all the PRs and everyone at the weekend for making it so good. This isn't the end yet. There's 2 more specials to come your way. I think last year I released every episode after like 1 day, so you had like 5 specials over 5 days. I'm dragging it out a bit this year. I think that people need a bit of time to listen, digest the episodes, and then get a new slice of Mark and Me. You don't need the whole cake over a few days, so I've dragged it out. I hope you guys have appreciated that. So it will be a couple of days until you get the 4th slice of the Mark and Me cake, but I promise you it's going to be very tasty with lots of icing. So until then, look after yourself, take care, and I'll speak to you all very soon.